All right. Good evening, everyone. I trust you're doing very well tonight. So glad to have every one of you joining us on this call tonight. My name is Ayemi Ajibola. If you can hear me, I'd like to make use of the comment section. Okay. I can see three people on the call tonight, and so glad to have you join us on this call tonight. Thank you, beautiful. Um, Once again, my name is Ayemi Ajibola, and I'm the director of Eagles Business School. And joining me on this call tonight, I have Daniel Lajide, who will be joining me on the call tonight. But before I bring you in, tonight we'll be discussing a very important and crucial topic. We'll be looking at building a personal brand and how you stand out in a competitive world. All right, especially as student in the tertiary institution, it's very vital that you know what the outside world is like and how you can prepare very well for the life after school. All right. So I have Daniel here right now, and then I'll add in join me live. All right. Hey, Daniel, good evening and
Good
welcome.
evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Daniel. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you so much. It's amazing to be with the team tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So nice to be with you here too, Daniel. Thank you for joining in. Um, and I mean, we have a few of our folks here who are also watching us live on YouTube. So
Amazing,
before,
amazing.
yeah, before we go on with what we have to discuss with everyone tonight, I would just like to introduce Daniel so that we can, go on quickly to the event of the. Right, so sorry about that. Okay, so I'll just introduce Daniel to us tonight so that every one of us we know who Daniel is before Daniel takes on the stage. Daniel, I hope you're still here.
Yes, I'm still with you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so trying to go to Daniel's profile. Okay, I'll just read. Daniel Olajide, usually called the Ola Daniel, is a result driven and visionary leader with 7+ years of experience in corporate and religious institutions. He's the executive director of uh, Absurd Lead, a premier protocol consulting firm, with its flagship initiative, the Upsurge Conference, which has impacted 300 plus protocol offices across 4 continents in 3 years. Daniel is an alumnus of Kwara State University's Aerospace Engineering program, where he earned his seat as a graduate member in the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He is the creative lead of the Curative blog, inspiring thousands with personal stories. He actively Initiative, Lagos chapter. Stewart as a provincial representative under Pastor Sid family and serves as an ordained deacon in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. I mean, such an amazing such an amazing bio we have there, Daniel. Just going through, I think the last part or the second to the last paragraph, I can see some added stuffs there, and I mean that's a huge one. So, Daniel, can you actually share with us, how you were able to, obtain such position? I mean, being a member or the director of diaspora and foreign affairs. I mean, that must have taken a lot. Can you share with us, Daniel?
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Olayemi. Once again, I am grateful to be amongst great minds, great individual, and amazing people tonight. I really do not take this opportunity for granted. And I see you. I see everyone in the comments. I see Yahaya. I see Tohib. I see Femi. Thank you for turning up tonight. All right. So, how was I able to achieve my office as a director of foreign affairs and diaspora?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back a bit. While I was in secondary school, I was privileged to be the senior prefect, which is also known as head boy. Right. It was
Mhm.
then I knew that I had something to do with leadership. I was always this shy type. I didn't always wanted to do anything while I was still in junior secondary school. But when I
Yeah.
got into that position, I knew I had to do something in nation building and in the world. So that reality made me be intentional about every of my processes day to day. It made me be intentional about what I focus on, the responsibilities I choose to work on part time. Right. So as I began to grow, I began to look out for opportunities that will help me fulfill my God given mandate when it comes to nation building. Right. And I'm very, very much young. I'm still a youth. Definitely the approach to get into that will be to be actively involved in the youth affairs of the country. And I'm privileged to live in Ikorodu, one of the fastest growing cities in Lagos State. If you do not know, I'm letting you know now, right? So I became active in the youth arm of the local government, and there was an opening for a director to become the Directorate of Diaspora and Foreign Affairs. And I decided, okay, this is an opportunity for me to actually make a difference and lead the way leadership is meant to be done, right? Because I figured the problem that we have in our country, Nigeria, is leadership and management of our people and our resources. Nigeria is a country that has vast resources, vast people, creativity, knowledge, and all. But our leaders have not been able to properly manage our people and our resources. And that is the reason why we are where we are today. So I decided to, okay, I picked up the form and we were up for a small interview. Then, boom, I got my appointment letter, started work, and all. My major duty in that office is to make sure that the foreign policy of Nigeria is well implemented, right? And the
Mhm.
youth of Ikorodu at large are connected to foreign opportunities that will help them become better persons in this society. Just connecting the world to Ikorodu, basically.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
is the backstory to all of those things.
Wow, that's really amazing to hear, Daniel. And I mean, that's a big feat, if you're asking me. And guys, you may want to ask is first of all, thank you, Daniel, for that. I know so many of you may be asking, is Daniel actually from Ikorodu or is he from Lagos State? Well, Daniel is not from Ikorodu and is not from Lagos State, but I mean, I believe one way or the other, just like the topic we'll be discussing tonight, right, which is building a personal brand and how you can stand out in a competitive world, right? I believe Daniel stood out, like he said, right from when he was in his secondary school, and that has kept him on his toe till this very time. Okay, all right. I mean, Daniel, thank you so very much for that brief. And also, can I also share with everybody? Daniel was a
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? I can't seem to hear anything from your end. Probably network.
Okay, Daniel, can you hear me? So sorry, everyone.
Okay. All right, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So I asked a question earlier. I said, looking at our topic, building a personal brand. Now, what can you say about that first part? I mean, building a personal brand before we go into the second part, which is standing out in a competitive world.
All right. Can you hear me? Also, can you hear me?
Yes, sure. I can hear you, Daniel.
All right. To the question, I believe you're saying basically what is a personal brand? I believe, right?
Exactly. What is a
Personal.
personal brand? And then we'll go into how one can actually build a personal brand. I mean, looking at your example is a very good one, right? You started as the head boy of your school while you were in the secondary school, right? How did you build that personal brand? You see what I'm saying, right? So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
will tell us, what do you see as personal brand or personal branding, right? And I mean, we would continue the conversation by looking at how you can build a personal brand.
All right. I mean, that's a great question. I believe that every individual on the surface of this earth has a unique feature that they can offer to the world. There is something unique that nobody on this earth has. Best believe if this world is recreated again, what you have embedded inside of you, nobody can still have it. All right. So you are uniquely you. I mean,
All right, Daniel, are you there?
yeah, yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and I think it went off.
Okay, where did you go off? Where did you hear me last?
I think it was the part where you were talking about every individual has a unique nature.
Okay, yeah. Every individual has a unique nature. You have something unique that God created inside of you, right? So going back to the story of becoming the head boy, I think what set me out was being able to pay attention to detail. Prior to my appointment as the head boy in secondary school, I was appointed the timekeeper, right? And that requires you to be super focused on the time, because if you are not, other people from other classes will come and bite your head. Bro, why are you not with the bell? Why are you not ringing it and all? But really, most of the time, that was not the case. Everybody knew me to be very organized, detailed, right? Paying attention to the tiniest thing that the whole school might not see, and that is to the time. I would always ring the bell when it is time.
Mm.
In rare occasions, would you find me ringing that bell 1 minute after the stipulated time I am meant to ring it? Right? So people knew me for that. People knew that no. Our timekeeper can never, ever ring the bell late or earlier. So that created a brand for me. I set myself apart as they knew me as somebody who paid attention to detail,
Mm.
right? And that is what has been helping me to become excellent. And I've carried that disposition to everything I will be doing and everything I have been doing in life, right? So like I said, it is you understanding yourself first. You have something to offer to the world. I use that mundane example to help you understand the foundations of personal branding,
Mm.
right? It is what you have, then you are projecting to the world. You should understand that you have something unique, and it is you that will make the decision to get back to the drawing board and understand yourself, because nobody will understand you for you. There are a lot of opportunities in personal branding. I believe I'm still going to get into that in the later part of this conversation. What personal
Sure.
branding will do to you will shock you, right? It will shock you. So you have to take it very, very serious. Differentiate yourself from the crowd. There could be a pool of 100 video editors that the president wants to appoint as the personal video editor for his next tenure or administration. But what sets you apart? What makes you different from the pool of 100 video editors that are across Nigeria? There should be one thing. It could be your time of delivery, it could be your excellence, it could be the quality of your work, right? You have to know yourself and deliver something that stands you out, basically. So that's it.
Wow, thank you so very much for that, Daniel. You need to understand yourself. I mean, from what Daniel has said, he has actually said a lot of things. I think I was putting in some things in the comment section, for people who would watch this immediately after this discussion or conversation. And Daniel says something. He said every individual has a unique nature. And he said something quite profound, talking about paying attention to details. For me, I think I wrote it in there that that's a key focus. Having to pay attention to details. And can I also add that I think Daniel is somebody, that had a stand. Okay, he had a stand and he upheld that stand. And I mean, the consistency and the continuity in upholding that stand was one of the things that actually made him got discovered by people. One of my coaches, Jimmy Terry, said something. He said, in your place of natural habitat, all right, three things get to happen to you. It's a place where you get noticed, where you get discovered, and a place where you get rewarded. I mean, for Daniel to have discovered himself, all right, and then he stood out to be unique, with his personal brand, that actually paid off for him. And up to today, I want to believe that Daniel, one way or the other, still, keep up to every of those details that he has always, built himself with right from time, right? I mean, Daniel, thank you so very much for sharing that with us. Now, let's go quickly into now. How do you advise an undergraduate, right, who is still within? I mean, you already understand the scope of why we are doing this, right? Now, how do you advise or encourage or help somebody who is still in the the undergraduate world. I mean, 100 level person, 200, three down till 500 level. How do you really advise this person? Oh man, this is how you can build a personal brand for yourself. Yes, it is quite competitive in the in the tertiary institution, but can you maybe outline one or two ways that anybody who is joining on this call right now or that would join in later on can that you can help such a person to build a personal brand?
Mo ń pè ọkọ. Can we hear me?
Yeah, yeah, sure, we can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. So building a personal brand for someone in the university is still in the shores of scope. One thing, like Mr. Olayemi already said, is that you are in a competitive world. I mean, the school I attended, Kwara State University, best believe I know it has about 5,000 students to 10,000 students. So what on earth will make people want to have something with you? Now, that is where I am going to. All right. First things first is you are there to read your book, right? Understand that you are for the period of your 4 5 years that you'll be there is first things first. You should focus on why you are there, right? Everybody in the university by default understands that we are there to read our book. No matter everything that we are doing, it's still a book that we came to read. So focus on it. Show that you are grounded in the discipline which you came to study for 4 5 years, right? Be grounded in it. The second thing to do in the competitive landscape of a university, right, is to have value beyond what you are taught in the 4 walls of the classroom. Have value beyond what you are taught in the 4 walls of the classroom. Value could be in the sense of developing yourself personally, taking courses, learning new skills that will help you, give you an edge in that school and also outside that school. I mean, there are a lot of students that are studying their book and also doing business and also getting it right in the place of balancing their activities. All right. First things first, know why you're there, study your book, have value. The second is have value, have skills that you can offer to people. All right. The third that will give, just to wrap everything all up, is that be loud about what you do. I mean, be super loud about what you do. Be very, very loud. If you need to carry what you do on your head every day, carry it, because nobody will know that this is what you do if you do not talk about it. Forget maybe you are you just put it on your bio, then you do not even talk about it on your status for 1 month, or you do not even talk about it to somebody in a week. That's not the way it's really done. You should be loud about what you do to be able to find an edge in a competitive world. And let me just add a bonus: be excellent. Excellence will set you apart. I mean, I know my name is Daniel, and Daniel in the Bible had an excellent spirit. It is not a coincidence. I just know I am excellent. Be
Yeah,
excellence. And how can you build excellence? Is to daily develop yourself in the field you have chosen. Daily develop yourself in that field you have chosen. I've mentioned 4 things now. Number one is to be grounded in why you are in school. Study your book. Number two is to have value. If you do not have value before, learn a valuable skill. The third is to be loud about what you do. The fourth, be excellent. Be excellent in your approach to everything. Pay attention to details, quality of your work. Someone says you should deliver a clothes for him by so time. You are delivering 72 hours past the deadline and you do not even deliver it well. That is not excellence. You are not standing out. Nobody will recommend you for another person. The best way for your market to fly actually without doing any form of ad is word of mouth. When it flies to 10 people, 10 people talk about it to 100 people, 100 people talk about it to 1,000 people. Before you know it, your brand has circulated around the school. Why? Because you are excellent. And they
yeah,
check you. You are also book smart. You know what you are doing. I mean, they will always, at every point in time, want to have something to do with you. You'll be a solution provider, right? So I believe all of those things would go a long way.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, thank you so very much, Daniel, for that. You said some things, and I mean, key. You talked about be loud about what you do, which I want to believe you would also remember one of the things I said years back while we were organizing the Eagles Business Conference, right? For maybe in Ilorin now, I can't even remember. I've always been, or it has always been my mantra that I always say stuffs like, um, the university is a free world, right? Where you can always, do an advert for yourself, right? About yourself, about your skills, about what you sell, your product, anything at all. I mean, the university is that kind of an environment where you can always showcase every of these things, to the world out there, right? I mean, let's look at a good example of people who have graduated from. Let's even go far back to Kwara State University. These guys, they all started while they were in the university, and today we all can see the result. I mean, right? So thank you once again, Daniel, for that. Daniel said, "Be loud about what you do. Carry it on your head. Carry it on your head." And finally, Daniel said, "Be excellent." Right? Maybe you're to deliver a product, don't deliver the product maybe about 48 hours after, and then you just deliver the product shabbily, without apology. You don't have a good brand. I mean, your packaging is not even excellent. It doesn't appeal to the eyes of the person, right? So thank you very much, Daniel, for sharing that beautiful information with us. Now let's go on to the final part of this section tonight. Now, looking at the second part of it, talking about standing out in a competitive world. Now, Daniel, I don't know, but I want to believe one way or the other you may have something to say about that. So, can you go on? Just speak to it.
All right. Standing out in a competitive world is a two-sided coin, right? It is hard and it is easy. First, you need to be very, very, very intentional, because it gets a particular point where you'd be like, oh, what's going on? Nothing seems to be working. I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried. Consistency is what is going to help you stand out just at foundational level, base level, right? Consistency is what is going to help you push ahead, right? Now, standing out in a competitive world, you have to know yourself. That's the first thing. Know the value that you want to offer. Be purpose driven. Have a let me use the word ambition. Know where you are going. Like, have something that burns within you to help you hit that goal. Let the fire burn within you. Have purpose. Know yourself. When you know yourself, you begin to walk towards what you have already, because you cannot be almost everywhere at the same time. If you are everywhere at the same time, people will not know you for something. And if they need a particular problem to be solved, they won't know you for that particular thing. If you want to focus on media, you can say, I will focus on media. And the reason why I am focusing on media is because I already know myself. I already know my strength, right? I've developed passion in handling a camera, I've developed passion in videography, and all of those things. You need to know yourself first, right? Then in that regard, begin to begin to develop yourself. When you've known yourself, you know the trajectory that your life is going. Develop yourself. I mean, we're in a very fast-paced world. Things are evolving. I mean, at the advent of AI that is disrupting the work space now, right? Things are moving very fast. In that your industry, can you continue to learn? Are you in economics? Can you continue to learn about global economics? Learn about how things work. Are you in law? Right? Is there an AI aspect to law? Continue to learn. Technology is really taking over the world today. If you really want to stand out, the operation of today is very, very different from the operation of 10 years ago. The way
Yeah.
people work today is different from the way people work 5 years ago, right? I saw a
Yeah.
post a bit meme at the beginning of the year that workers will get to work today. The next thing you'll be hearing is find attached. Can you see my screen? That really
Yeah.
does not happen before. Everybody goes to work 9 to 5, but now there is remote work, there is remote role, right? It's making the work easier. And for you now, if you were a graphics designer, you go to work to design, and maybe now they move you are being moved to a remote role, and you do not know how to use Google Meet, you don't know how to use Zoom, right? That would affect your effectiveness as a staff in that company because you are not able to learn and evolve the way the world is going, right?
Yeah.
So going back to everything, you need to know purpose, you need to know what you want to do, and in that line, begin to learn and upskill yourself, develop yourself the way the world is going. Develop, 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 develop. Just continue every day. You continue to learn. All this that I've just said will help you stand out in a competitive world. Another thing is the last thing is your online presence. Your online presence. I mean, I've been on LinkedIn quite a while now. I'm just building my profile on LinkedIn. I made a post 2 days ago, on Tuesday thereabout. I just made the post. I mean, and I got a text message from one of my colleagues in Indonesia. She just said she wanted to learn more about protocol, right? Because I do protocol, and she said she wanted to learn. I mean, Nigeria. She's in Indonesia. Everybody was, oh, the almighty Indonesia. And I mean, because right, I was able to utilize the online space.
Yeah.
There is LinkedIn for you to utilize, there is Instagram for you to utilize, there is Facebook, there is Twitter. All these places will help you build a personal brand and help you have leverage, make you stand out. And another thing that will make you stand out, I'm saying a lot, just try to pack it together, is offer value. Teach people what you know. When you teach people what
Mm.
you know, they will respect you. You've been doing maybe what can I use now? You've been doing fashion designing for the past 10 years and you are good, and you've not even decided to hold one master class for anybody, either free or paid. You are not impacting people, you are not replicating your wisdom and knowledge to people. How can you build a legacy that way? It cannot happen. It really cannot happen. So you need to teach people what you already know. Even if you spent 2 years in the industry, make flyer, hold an online event or a physical event, right? You are building a brand that way. You are creating yourself as an authority in that field because you are impacting lives in that particular field. Me, for example, I started doing protocol um uh, about 5 years ago, and 2 years into when I was doing protocol, I held a conference. I mean, at that from that conference, just doing it alone, I could have got because I decided to teach people what I know, and I stood out. A lot of people that did not respect me in the industry now respect me more, right? Because I was able to teach other people what I know. I believe that with all of these things, you'll be able to stand out in a competitive world that we are in. I mean, it's a lot I've said. It's really a
Yeah.
lot. I can't even remember.
I mean, absolutely, Daniel. Thank you so very much for, I mean, spending your time and also being here to share, you know, your experiences so far with people, everybody on this call tonight. I mean, it's pretty amazing to have you on this session tonight. Thank you so very much once again, Daniel. We're so happy and grateful. Thank you. God bless you. All right, let me just ask if somebody has something to say before we call it a night. Do you have any question you want to ask Daniel? You want Daniel to help you about something? Do you have anything at all you would like to share? You know, just let us know in the chat box, and then Daniel would definitely respond to that. He would definitely respond to it. All right. Okay, now Daniel talked about something, and in just 1 minute, I'll just share that with us. You know, he talked about maximizing your online presence, right? Now, I know a lot of us are quite shy about going, online, maybe making content or the likes of it. One, you need to also understand that you can have somebody be the face of your brand, right? Instead of you killing your dreams completely, you can have somebody help you, work on it, work on your brand. I mean, put out your face or put out the face out there, right? Somebody you that is loyal to you, that you can control, right? To do what is right part time. Okay, you can always have somebody instead of not allowing what you're doing to be shown or seen out there. No, don't allow. I was watching a video by one of my friends, and then he was sharing about how the devil most times hits up on so many people. Maybe you intend to start content creation, and maybe you don't have a few materials, and then you begin to tell yourself that when I have that material I will do it. No, start now. Start now. I know sometimes it could be really difficult to start now, as a result of the situation around you and all of that. But I mean, when is the best time to ever start? Is there really a best time? Well, if you ask me, I'll tell you that the best time to start is right now. Okay, so I don't know, Daniel, do you have a last word you like to share with people on the call before we call it a night? Daniel, are you there?
Yes, yes. I'm here. I'd like to say everybody intentional. Intentionality is going to take you very, 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 very far. As we come into a new year, the new year will not become new unless you are new. December 31st is just a day. January 1st is another day. You have to be intentional with everything that you want to do. Take Live every day like there is no tomorrow. Live every day that like there is tomorrow. What you can do today, do not postpone it tomorrow. Because when you postpone it tomorrow, there is every likelihood that you will not be able to do it. Everything you've learned here today, you might want to begin to put every single thing into practice. It's super important that you take actions very, very fast. And I hope to see everybody in the next few years in great places by the grace of God.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much once again, Daniel. So grateful to have you join us on this call tonight. And everybody that has joined us so far, and everyone that will still watch this video immediately after now, I'd like to say thank you to you. Thank you for joining us on this call tonight. My name still remains Zolayemi Ajibola. I'm the director of the Eagles Business School. Just in case you're watching or you're going to see this later on, we'll be hosting the Eagles Conference in Kwara State University on the 22nd of this month, January 2025. So if you're anywhere around Kwara State University, University of Ilorin, Kwara State Polytechnic, and every institution in Kwara State or its environ, you can find your way down to Kwara State University. I mean, there's going to be a bus available to pick people from post office down to Kwara State University. So if you're there, I mean, you can just a number will be put in the comment section. You can hit up the number and reach out to somebody to help you, reserve a seat. Okay. So once again, Daniel, I want to say thank you, and to everyone who stayed up till this time with us on this call. Thank you, and everyone who would watch the video later on. I want to say thank you to you also. Thank you, everybody, and God bless you. Have a beautiful night rest. Thank you. Good night. Good night, Daniel. Thank you so very much.